think you know geography? You might want to think again. Because today, we're about to expose the biggest geography lies you probably still believe. From mythical mountains to invisible countries, these are the fake geography facts the world somehow accepted as truth. 1. Mount Everest is the tallest mountain. Wrong. We've all been taught that Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world. But what if we told you it isn't? Everest is the tallest above sea level, at 8,848.86 meters. But the tallest mountain from base to peak? That title goes to Mauna Kea in Hawaii. While Everest towers over the Himalayas, Mauna Kea rises from the ocean floor, and its full height, including underwater, is over 10,000 meters. So technically, Mauna Kea is taller. Everest just looks better on postcards. 2. Africa is a country. One of the most persistent geography misconceptions: Africa is a country. In reality, Africa is a continent made up of 54 countries, each with its own language, culture, and government. The myth likely persists due to vague generalizations in media and education. If we lumped all of Europe or Asia into one political entity, we'd laugh. But when it comes to Africa, this misunderstanding continues. It's not just inaccurate, it's disrespectful. 3. The equator is the hottest place on Earth. Logic would suggest that the equator, getting direct sunlight year-round, must be the hottest place on Earth. Right. Actually, the hottest temperatures are found in places like Death Valley, California, and the Dasht-e-Lut Desert in Iran. Why? Because elevation, humidity, and landscape play a major role. The equator is often surrounded by rainforests and highlands, which regulate temperature. So, you might sweat more, but you won't melt. 4. The Great Wall of China is visible from space. A classic myth. You can see the Great Wall of China from space with the naked eye. This is false. Astronauts have confirmed it's nearly impossible to see the wall without aid. It's narrow, blends into the natural terrain, and is no more visible than roads or rivers. Even NASA has debunked this. It might look massive on Earth, but from space, it disappears into the landscape. 5. Europe is a continent surprise. Well, technically speaking, Europe isn't a separate continent, geologically, at least. Europe and Asia form one massive landmass called Eurasia. The divide is cultural and historical, not geographical. The Ural Mountains and the Caucasus are arbitrary boundaries. So, that seven-continent model. It's more about politics than plate tectonics. 6. Australia is the only continent without volcanoes. People love to say Australia is the only continent without active volcanoes. But guess what? Australia does have volcanoes. They're just dormant or extinct, for now. The newer Volcanics province in Victoria is considered a potentially active volcanic field. So don't let that calm Aussie landscape fool you, it's just sleeping. 7. Antarctica is always covered in ice. Yes, Antarctica is the iciest place on Earth, but it's not always frozen solid. During the summer months, certain parts, like the Antarctic Peninsula, experience melting, exposed rock, and even life like moss and small animals. It's still mostly frozen, but it isn't a solid block of ice. Before we dive in, here's a quick challenge for you. Pause the video and comment below, which country do you think is actually much smaller than it looks on the map? We'll reveal some mind-blowing distortions in this next chapter. Let's see who gets it right. The world map you grew up with. Likely the Mercator projection, a map that grossly distorts size and shape. For example, Greenland looks bigger than Africa, when in reality, Africa is 14 times larger. Most world maps are distorted for navigation or political reasons. So, next time you look at a map, Question the truth behind the lines. 9. The Amazon is the longest river. This is an ongoing debate. The Nile River is traditionally considered the longest, but some measurements now suggest the Amazon River may be longer. Why the confusion? Measuring a river's length isn't simple. It depends on where you start, seasonal changes, and new tributaries. So, while schoolbooks say Nile, science says, it depends. 10. Time zones follow straight lines. Time zones should logically follow longitude lines. But in reality, they bend, zigzag, and sometimes defy logic entirely. Countries change time zones for economic or political reasons. China, for example, spans 5 geographical time zones, but uses just one, Beijing time. It's geopolitics, not geometry. 11. The North Pole is on solid ground. Unlike the South Pole, which sits on the Antarctic continent, the North Pole is just floating sea ice. There is no land beneath the North Pole, only ocean. It moves, melts, and freezes with the seasons. So technically, Santa's workshop would be drifting. 12. Continents don't move. Continents may feel fixed, but they're on the move. Thanks to plate tectonics, continents drift at about the same rate your fingernails grow, 25 centimeters per year. Millions of years ago, the world looked very different. And millions from now, Africa might collide with Europe, and the Atlantic may vanish. 13. Seasons are the same everywhere. People often assume that seasons are universal. But in reality, seasons depend on latitude and tilt. Countries near the equator barely notice seasons. Meanwhile, places like Norway enjoy polar nights and midnight sun. Even more confusing, Australia has summer when Europe has winter. 14. Countries are static, borders change. Countries disappear. New ones are born. Think of Yugoslavia, Sudan, or Czechoslovakia. Political geography is fluid, and new disputes arise all the time. Just ask Kosovo or Taiwan. Maps freeze time, but the world doesn't. 15. Iceland is covered in ice and Greenland is green, the biggest naming prank in history. Iceland is relatively mild and green, while Greenland is mostly frozen tundra. The story goes that Vikings intentionally swapped names to mislead rivals. While that may be a myth in itself, the names are certainly misleading today. If you've been shocked by at least one of these, hit the like button and drop a comment telling us which one fooled you the most. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. There's a lot more geography to debunk. Maps lie. Myths persist. And the Earth keeps spinning. Thanks for watching Geography Myths You Still Believe. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and we'll see you in the next video.